Hello, my name is Dan Lorne. I am a Métis artist and community curator with the Beyond the Binary exhibition project at the Pitt Rivers Museum. Today, I'm wearing black-rimmed glasses, I have short brown hair, and I'm also wearing a dark red sweater with a black undershirt with tiny white polka dots. As a community curator for the Beyond the Binary project with the Pitt Rivers Museum, I was given the wonderful opportunity to engage with the museum archives, specifically objects that have been made or created by my own nation, the Métis Nation. I was fortunate to work with some specific objects like the S Black bag, and even curate and create art in homage to that bag with my own artwork. I have also represented the project Beyond the Binary at other events held by Oxford, in London and other areas, and I have been fortunate enough to work on a few educational workshops as well as an online webinar produced by the Education Department and the Pitt Rivers Museum. So the Métis community is a historic community spread across through Western Canada, as well as a couple of other provinces with some communities in the northern United States. Traditionally, it has been a community that is a melding of different cultures. You have predominantly European, English and French that came to Canada, or what is now known as Canada, for the fur trade. We also have a melding of Indigenous communities, or First Nations communities as they are known today in Canada, Anishinaabe, Cree, as well as other cultures, and those two communities melded together and fortified to become the Métis Nation that we know today. I am a product of the Métis Nation, specifically the traditional territory in Red River. That's where my family hails from, and I am very pleased to be keeping on with certain traditional activities such as beadwork, baking, bannock, and also attempting very trepidly to do the Métis jig. Situated up high in the middle of the glass case labeled Indigenous Power Countering Colonialism, this object is a large black woolen bag decorated with Métis beadwork that exemplifies a combination of European and Indigenous artistry. The bag measures around 610 millimeters in length, or about an average person's torso, and it is the width of about 280 millimeters, or about the length of a person's forearm. Rounded at the top, the bag tapers down sharply, with 8 tabs dangling straight down, wherein they split in half at about an inch towards the end of the cloth. The cloth tabs end in chains of 3 translucent blue and brown beads. At the end of every beaded chain are an inch of thread tassels, weathered and browned with age to show a mixture of cream and chestnut-colored pigmentation. Now, razor thin, this bag's edges are piped with tiny scuffed white beads along a thin line of dulled red ribbon, sandwiched between another single line of yellow beads. The front panel of the bag is decorated with finely stitched cotton thread in the shape of several flowers, including drooping tulips, crescented bluebells, and a couple of 4-petaled prairie roses. These flowers, though made with European materials, accentuate Métis worldviews and designs. Given as a gift to Scottish fur trader Samuel Black in the early 1840s, it was probably made by one of Black's Métis wives or daughters living in what is now Western Canada. We know this because it has the initial S. Black stitched in delicate thread underneath the cluster of flowers. Each of these 8 dangling tabs is also decorated with leaves and vines in a swerving zigzag that are consistent in placement. The facing panel in the display case shows the flowers filling up the 4 corners of the cloth, representative of the 4 cardinal directions that are sacred to the Métis community and other Indigenous communities. The next object, made by Dan Lorne in 2019, is also a bag of similar shape, though it is half the dimensions and size of the Samuel S. Black bag. However, it is also made from felt, cotton thread, and multicolored glass seed beads. It hangs to the right of the display case, suspended by a single rainbow ribbon an inch wide protruding from the left and right corner of the bag's opening. This bag features a red heart, representing love, made from 3 lines of beadwork with red and pink lipped rosebuds nestled in the middle of the heart. A blue and white beaded purple tulip nestled at the top of the heart, also has a bright yellow stamen that guides to the top of the bag. 2 sets of green beaded foliage are at either side of the heart, and towards the very bottom of the heart is a large swash of rainbow ribbon. 4 felt tabs drop down wherein they split in half about an inch towards the end of the cloth. A single line of rainbow beads at the end of each tab feeds into a cluster of threads tasseled in alternating colors of white and cobalt blue, the contemporary flags of the Métis Nation. Beadwork decorates each tab with designs of pastel blue roses, green veined leaves, 4-petaled roses, red strawberries with white polka-dotted seeds, small white flowers, and copper-colored vines swerving in the middle of every tab. Both bags represent a combination of identity, European and indigenous storytelling told through artistry, with thoughts such as affection, gender, and identity. I felt inspired by the S. Black's bag creator to make my own bag that showcases my feelings as a transgender Native man. When I was transitioning, I was convinced by Western colonial standards that I could not enjoy or like anything feminine, especially the typical floral beadwork of my Métis community. However, beadwork is often viewed by many to be a strictly feminine art form, which is the farthest from the truth. Beadwork merely shows another way that Indigenous people can express their identity, honor their ancestors, and create traditional works of art in the present day. Beadwork has been an important part of me engaging with my community and expressing myself and my identity that lies beyond the binary.